for businesses when they think accountability, when they think justice or environment justice? What does that mean for the business environment? It's talking figures, 92.3 Nigeria Info. Chioma is my name. Chioma is Zingwafo, and I'll be your host for today. And the big question is, will this case, the Shell Ogale case, what would it mean? What would it mean? What do you think? Is it going to mean, would it hurt the business environment, or would it shape it in the right direction? Is a question for you now to answer. Yes, you get to join the conversation at some point. The phone lines will be open, and you can also send WhatsApp messages, because we are also live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube as well. And yes, you can send those messages. Let's hear your thoughts. Do you think the Ogale LMS case, the Ogale LMS Shell case right now, do you think it's going to hurt the business environment, affect investing in Nigeria? Or do you think it's going to shape how things are done in the right direction? I have a guest with me. He is an environment defender. He's done a lot of things. I've known him for at least 15 years. He's been doing this for this long, fighting for environment justice. Yes, Mr. Celestine Akpobari joins me now. He's joining on WhatsApp, and I see him, and he's looking good. If you join us live on Facebook, you get to see him as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Akpobari, for joining us. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, Mr. Akpobari. Can you hear me?
Well, good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon. Good to hear your voice. How is Abuja today?
Abuja is fine, very dry and hot.
Hot. I wanted to hear the part where you say hot. Because that's all we've heard people in Abuja talk about, how hot the environment is. It's also really hot here, but somehow the rain helped us yesterday, and some of us were able to sleep because it poured yesterday. It really poured and helped us. So today I saw the news on the BBC, and I saw the monarch of Ogale in the UK protesting, and it looked like a version of what was done here in Rivers State. And this time around, he was even more articulate, talking about what exactly they wanted. Okay. And now it's gone global, and now it's no longer a chmochomchin, like they say. Okay. So we're going to look at all of that. But first, there's a tradition on the show. On the show, we get to look at the top 3 stories in the world of business, and you share your thoughts on them. Just random thoughts and random stories, and what you think about it when you see that kind of story. Are you ready, Mr. Akpobari?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so we'll begin with the very first one. The story is a very interesting one that when we first saw it, we all wondered, what could this mean? Is this for real, or another data trying to be forced down our throat? Talking about the inflation rate. The National Bureau of Statistics yesterday announced that there's been a drop in the inflation rate from about 24%. Let's get that story now. Let me see. To about 24%, and the explanations and the numbers were interesting. It was quite interesting because, it's we used to have a 34% rate, and now we have a 24.48% for the month of January. When you saw that story, what came to your mind?
Well, that's the voodoo figures. A voodoo is somebody sitting on his computer and reducing the figure, because things in the market are going higher every second. That figure does not reflect the reality. The ordinary people in the market are still increasing their prices. The people that are driving taxi and buses are still increasing their prices. Their prices. So it is a voodoo figure. I saw Mr. President in a viral video say, we will bring down the figure. We bring down the inflation. So maybe that's what the president was talking about. They have brought it down.
Okay, so let me just explain that a little bit. We do not have economists in the studio, but I understand that it's called rebasing. A rebasing has happened. So they rebase the consumer price index. So it's not really like the cost of things have gone down. And so Consumer Price Index measures inflation by tracking the prices of a basket of goods and services over time. So rebasing means that it updated the base year. So the reference period for price comparisons and adjusting the weight of items in the inflation calculation to reflect current consumer patterns. Too much English of business, right? But basically it's just on paper. Okay? And maybe by February we'll know how things are.
I understand what you are saying very well, but I'm an ordinary Nigerian who does not understand those economic terms.
Yes.
Nobody wants to understand what you are talking about, rebasing, debasing. What we want to understand is that this rebasing and debasing has affected the price of food in the market and the cost of transportation until it gets to the ordinary man. Although debasing, rebasing doesn't work here. We have too much of such semantics and grammar, and we don't want to hear it anymore.
Okay, well, one thing is clear, that we shouldn't mistake the lower inflation figure for a sudden drop in cost, and because that's not the experience at the moment. And we'll keep an eye on that in coming days. As we look at the next story that talks about, where is it? It talks about the CBN and, hold on. Talks about the CBN and it's ordering bank directors with non-performing insider-related loans to step down immediately. That's a directive from the CBN that bank directors with non-performing insider-related loans to step down immediately. It's a decision aimed at strengthening corporate governance and improving risk management in the banking sector. Are we used to such things in Nigeria, where people have to step down if what their mandate isn't going as planned?
We are not used to having that, and I'll be happy if it will happen, because severally government has read the Riot Act and it doesn't work because important persons are involved. So I just pray that this time what they have said will happen.
Well, business owners will tell you that this could also mean that they're going to find it stricter for loans to be approved in banks, because banks will want to clean up their books and be on the right side of things. And let's see what that could really mean in coming days. And then if you're planning to apply for loans, good luck to you. And that's it on Market Watch, which is what we call this segment of Talking Figures. Now time for Insider Tips, where we look at the Ogale LMS situation with the Shell company and its implication for the business landscape. It's Talking Figures, the 92.3 Nigeria info. Stay tuned. Okay, so now time for Insider Tips, and Mr. Akpobari is still here, and the questions are just, there's a lot we want to understand when it comes to what's going on in Ogale and their relationship with Shell, and that's really where we want us to start from the very top. What's going on at the moment when it comes to these, what we see happening in London, in the UK now, and then what we see happening this week as well in River State. What's happening and how could this affect how people do businesses in Nigeria, or how investors perceive Nigeria? Okay, so Mr. Akpobari, thank you so much for making time again. And now let's start with, for those who do not know and do not fully understand, can you break down what the Ogale versus Shell case is really about and why it's a big deal at this time?
Well, the Ogale Bile is Ogale Bile and Shell. So 13,000 farmers from Bile and Ogale took Shell to court in Nigeria here, Lagos. Femi Falana was their lawyer about 10 years ago. But because, the justice system in Nigeria is very slow and corrupt, so the community didn't have faith in the judicial system in Nigeria. They decided to approach a team of lawyers in the United Kingdom called Lide. Lide are the same lawyers that represented Bodo people in a case between Bodo and Shell in a London court that led to them getting 15 million pounds a few years back. So they approached Lide and Lide took the matter to court. They've been in court for about 10 years now.
Okay.
And, you know, the judicial system in the UK is different from our own. They treat issue by issue. They can, like now, this 2025 now, they started hearing on the 13th of February, the very day we organized the protest in Ogale. They started hearing, and that hearing will be on up to the 9th of March. So every year like that, they can meet like 2 times or once to just take a serious. You have lawyers from Nigeria, including Olisa Akpobari, have been in the court in London answering some questions about what the law of Nigeria says about suing companies that are doing business in Nigeria outside the soil of this country.
Okay.
So the Ogale and Bile community are asking the court to grant them compensation because the activities of the oil company Shell have destroyed their means of livelihood, being predominantly fishermen and farmers, that they can no longer fish and they can no longer farm, and their water body have been polluted onto the water table. If you go to Ogale now and fetch water, you cannot just drink it. You cannot just breathe. There are people that came from abroad for burial in Ogale, and because they don't live there, and they were hot and they ran into the shower. The next day, there were oils all over their body, and from that day until they left, they have been bathing bottled water. They go to Port Harcourt, buy bottled water, pour it in the bucket and bathe, and wash their clothes with bottled water. And it's as bad as that. I accompany Amina Mohammed, the current Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, to Ogale. And what he saw in Ogale prompted her to cry. The water was smelly. Up till now, just go to Ogale and any company want to fetch water from their borehole, it's diesel or kerosene or crude oil that will come out. So the situation in their communities is as bad as that. If you plant something, it does no longer yield the support harvest. The land is shocked and dry. As for the river, you don't need to talk about it because they can't fish anymore. So those are the situations that led the farmers, the 13,000 farmers, to take in Shell to court in London.
Okay, now what does it mean for businesses in Nigeria, especially those that depend on land, water, or foreign investment? What does this case mean for them?
Yeah. It means that your business you are doing should have a human face. It means that you should not use your reggae to spoil my own blues. Because now Shell and the oil company declare billions of dollars in profits every year. Then the farmers are declaring losses because they can no longer farm. And in a scenario where there is an absence of government, in a scenario where you don't have government, it is money that you get from your farming and fishing business, you use in sending your children to school, you use in paying for their medical bills, you use in solving family problems. In the case where you are unable to get this anymore, what happened? High rate of poverty, high rate of hunger, high rate of illiteracy. So it means that businesses right now must wear human face, and the regulatory agencies must sit up to do their work to ensure that if you are into oil mining business, you must protect your pipeline. Of course, there are surveillance contracts, but they are not good enough to protect their pipeline from polluting. I also need to do routine checks. Look at the recent spill. The spill of 2nd February at Ogale. That was an accident. If she was trying to flush out the crude from their saver pit, and there was an overflow that engulfed the entire community. If it did not come from their manifold, they would have alleged that was sabotage. But because it came from their manifold, that's why they accepted that it was an error. It was a mistake. But that is what they do all the time. Only mindful of their profit. They don't do routine checks. They don't change equipment that are bad. Look at the pipelines. Rusty pipeline that saw on China the other day. Even water cannot pass through the pipeline without busting. Talk of highly inflammable substances. So it is a good thing that Ogale are taking that step. It was good that Bodo did the same thing. It was good that Goy and it got outdoor in Akpobari did the same thing at the Hague, where they got 80 million euro. And I expect every Niger Delta community that has had oil spills to do the same thing, so that businesses will not only be mindful of the profit, but also the rights of community that they are operating, both the human and environmental rights of the people, the right to live in a decent environment.
Interesting. Okay, now, when you think about the fact that we left the shores of Nigeria where this happened to go to the UK, what does this say about Nigeria's ability to regulate multinational corporations? Why are we having this case go all the way to the UK?
The number one issue there is that we don't trust our judicial system. It shows that that people can bribe because in previous cases they had money, enough money to pay back. So they will adjoin. Have you seen where they adjoin cases for 2 years? They will be adjoining. In case of Goy versus Shell, the man called Sikbo that took Shell to court had to died in the process because they keep adjoining the cases until two litigants died. It was their children that took up the matter to the Hague and they got justice. So it shows that the judicial system in Nigeria cannot be trusted because one, they can be bribed because of the deep pocket of the oil companies, including Shell. So it is a vote of no confidence on the judicial system in Nigeria because all the cases that have been taken outside this country, we have gotten fair judgment.
Interesting. I mean, without doubt, Mr. Akpobari, oil companies have contributed significantly to our economy in Nigeria. But with cases like this, do you think their way of doing business in Niger Delta is sustainable?
They have contributed significantly to the economic growth of our country at the detriment of community people who are their landlords. The origin of the Ogoni crisis with the oil companies and the Nigerian government is because of rent and royalty. That you have taken oil from our land for over 30 years as of 1990 when the Ogoni struggle started. They have taken oil up to 30 years. And what they call rent and royalty, what the Ogoni people call they call the owner of the land, what the owner of the land should get, was being given to government. We were not supposed to be so. Because somebody lived there. It is not only the negative consequences that the landlord should get. The landlord should also smile and eat.
Okay.
So businesses, they have contributed to the economic growth of this country, but they have done worse to the livelihood and local economy of their host communities. And so, coming to do business now, you have to properly define what you are going to do. Don't use your business to spoil my own means of livelihood. You are not the only one that you eat. That you come to do business in my community, then from that day I will not eat again. All the employments are done in Lagos, of course, not even in the communities where they are taking oil. And this is not 1958. This is the 20th century. Gold in Zamfara, belong to Zamfara people. They marry and take to their houses. The oil in the Niger Delta should belong to Niger Delta people. This is not our father they are dealing with. They are dealing with us, the children. And we know something now. We know better.
Okay, now the phone lines are open at this point. We're talking about the Ogale Bile Shell case in the UK, and there were protests this week about it. But the question is, can holding oil companies accountable change the way business is done in Nigeria? Can it improve it? Or is it going to shape it in the wrong way? Is it going to shape it in the right way or in the wrong way? If we continue to have communities dragging companies to court, not just in Nigeria, but at the, outside the shores of the country. I'd like to get your thoughts at this point. It's Talking Figures right here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Yes, you can call 0817 923 0002. You can also call 0817 923 0003. Yes, I would love to hear what you have to say. We're live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. Yes, you can drop your comments on there and we can read your comments live, or you drop your messages on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. That's 0809 030 6416. That's the WhatsApp number there. And we have the guest, Celestine Akpobari. He's a known environment defender. He's been sharing thoughts there and helping us understand businesses, their roles, and what it is. It's the impact of these companies on communities. I have a call coming through now. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Constance.
This is Choma Ezenwafo, and this is Talking Figures. You're welcome.
Choma Ezenwafo.
Yes, welcome to the show.
I'm calling from Eche.
Okay, let us know what you think. Do you think this holding companies accountable in this manner will shape it in the right direction or in the wrong direction?
Yes, holding companies that are responsible for this oil will shape this country to the right direction. My reason is oil companies, they are benefiting from this oil in Niger Delta, especially Ogale and Eche. Their interest is to gain. What about the people that own that community? What is their own gain? So they are supposed to give the right of the people what belongs to them. But they have to take everything, and which is very, very wrong. If they should give community what belongs to them, I hope things will balance the way it should be. They shouldn't eat the community's own and also eat their own. I'm not in support of that. Amadi Patrick from Eche.
Okay, thank you for calling. Amadi Patrick from Eche. Yes, you can call in and let's hear your thoughts. Do you think can holding oil companies accountable change the way business is done in Nigeria? Will it shape it in the right direction or in the wrong direction? Suing businesses in this manner. Let's hear you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nigeria Info.
Yes, you're live.
Thank you. This is Mary calling from Element.
Okay. What do you think?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Somebody gets in the studio there. The right thing is to take these companies to the proper judicial where they will take very good care of such cases, because one, all these people concerned, as he earlier stated, that our judicial system here in Nigeria, they are very easy to buy over. If we look at some certain cases, they've been buying our judiciary here over. So the proper thing is to take them where they have their roots, because all the oil companies, they have roots in Europe where they came from, to Nigeria here. So we go to the place where they have their roots, and that's how they treat their people. When such cases of oil spills come out, where proper employment will not be taken care of, proper cleanup will not be taken care of, where local content will not be taken care of. But in area, local content, everything is being taken care of. So that's the right direction, is to take them to the European court where their case will be settled. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your thoughts there. Now, Mr. Akpobari, I don't know if you got the calls. Did you hear the contributions so far?
I did not hear them.
Oh, okay. Basically, they agree with your thoughts there and what it is that businesses are doing, and they believe is going to shape this in the right direction. But then I'm wondering now, if companies like Shell are forced to compensate or clean up, what kind of business opportunities could arise from this situation?
It's a win-win. It will be a win-win thing, because their facilities will be protected. Because an hungry man is an angry man. If we are successful in our local businesses like farming and fishing, not we have time to go and tamper with their equipment. Nobody will go and disturb them to look for water from their facility, as we saw in Omochem in 1990, where community people went to the gate of share to go and look for drinking water, and they killed everybody in the community, including their traditional ruler children and his wife. So it will be a win-win. When you are doing the right thing, you can go to bed and sleep. And also go to bed and sleep. But now, the two of us can no longer sleep.
Okay, let's take more calls now. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, welcome to Talking Figures.
I believe the holding company and the second international court in the right way. Because this company, they know that whatever they do here is take them to court. Because the product is there, it's a very dangerous product. If you know the implication of that product, and they will come to you every year, destroy the environment, destroy the water, destroy everything.
I don't know, could you speak up a bit? It's a bit low.
Okay, I heard it now.
It's a bit low, really. Go on, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better. Go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say that taking this company to the international community is the best way to go, because they know that whatever they do here, they will get out of the hook. Because the product itself is a very dangerous product that can destroy everything that's called environment. But if they know that if a cup of that product drops anywhere, that they will hold responsible and pay for it, my sister, they will do all what they can for you not to drop. So I'm in support of taking them to that place. In those places, they don't have any company there. This is the way they destroy their own environment, because they know that whatever thing goes in Nigeria, they went and do everything they do in order to make money and frustrate other people. That's the right way to go. Thank you.
Okay, interesting now. Mr. Akpobari, you've called it a win-win, but let's talk about lessons for businesses, both people in the oil sector. What are the lessons to learn here?
The lessons to learn is that it is better to do the right things, because we have observed over time that these companies cut corners just to get profit. This divestment that you are seeing recently, the oil companies are trying to divest, is happening because the community people have come to the realization that this company can be sued outside the shore of Nigeria. And so they will be forced to pay for the damages they have done to the environment and livelihoods of community people. They know that a lot of communities are already lining up to file cases against them, and that's why they are trying to run away. But if you do the right thing, there will be no need to do that. If you get a manageable profit and use the others to secure and protect your facilities and your equipment to the extent that you don't allow them to go rusty and release into the river and the farms, then the community people will be happy to go to their farming and fishing. You will be happy to do this, and we will live a good numbers and the companies. So the what do you call them? The regulatory agencies too will also wake up to their responsibilities, knowing that they owe the community people and Nigerian people a duty. It is not when there is an oil spill, then an agency that like NOSRA that has the responsibility to oversee and regulate this. We have to wait for the polluter to bring chopper to them, bring biro, bring paper, before you will move to where there is an oil spill. If it takes them 1 month, 2 months to send you chopper and give you working material, then the spill will be on for 2 months. That is not good. The government also needs to provide enough resources for their regulatory agencies so that they can do their work. What the government does do is to set up these agencies and leave them dry. How can you give 9 million naira, 9 million as running costs in Nozra? I mean, that is an insult and a shame. So government need to sit up, the oil company need to sit up to be able to protect the communities where they are working and taking enough money from.
Okay, yes, the phone lines are still open at this time. 0817-923-0009. You can also call 0817-923-0007. The question is very simple. Do you think cases like this will make Nigeria more attractive or less attractive to foreign investors? Do you think that cases like this, and what's the case, the Ogale village shell case, of course, communities just like Bodo did have taken are in court with Shell, and it's been for the past 10 years, and the cases hearings were started this week. And I'm asking, it's a business show, remember, I'm asking, do you think cases like this is going to attract or not attract foreign investors into the country? Let's have this call now. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, you're welcome to the show.
Okay, my concern is somebody mentioned about the community. I want to ask, who is the community? Because these same companies, they actually settle the community leaders. Meanwhile, the followers are not carried. So when you say community, who are they referring to? Because if the community are not being settled, some of these companies will not go free with all these things, or they won't do what they are doing. So when you say community, they settle these community heads. That's why when the rest are complaining, it doesn't hold water. And if things are done properly, it won't really stop any investment. People will still come in to do business because they know, now things are going to be done orderly. So both parties will be ready to do the right thing. That's my view.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts there. That's the final call on the show. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, briefly now.
Yes, also Mr. Gabriel Chima. Yes, we are talking about if the regulatory agencies that are not up to expectation can attract foreign investors into this country to some business. Yes, actually, yes, of course. It can. It depends on the individual that is coming to invest, because corruption is everywhere. We are talking about how to develop the country and the people. So it's a two-way thing. But I believe that the right thing must be done.
Okay.
And every right follower will just follow suit to do the right thing. And the people will be happy. And there won't be any kind of violence in the area and the state at large or country.
Okay.
That is my own take.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts there. Just before we wrap up, let's quickly read this message on WhatsApp from Dr. Gift Wall. He says, "Good afternoon, Chairman Honorable Akpobari. I believe accountability will make the companies to act more responsibly, strategically, and proactively. However, holding companies accountable should be everyone's business. The community, civil society, judiciary, the press, regulators, and so on. After all, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere." Final thoughts now, Mr. Akpobari.
Well, I think I agree completely with that write-up. Asking them to act accountably will make them responsible. And like you said, it is a duty for all of us. But on my final word, that the operators or oil companies should know that they are dealing with human beings and not wood.
All right.
That will not react. That they are dealing with human beings who are flowing in, who have responsibility to take care of their family.
We have to go now.
Cannot use your children.
We have to go now, Mr. Akpobari. Thank you for making time. We have to go now. And next week, Wednesday, we'll continue the conversation. We're staying on this case. Thank you so much for being a part of Talking Figures. My name is Choma Ezenwafo, and up next, we have yeah, just stay tuned.